Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Marsh. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I just want to say, Monday nights are a little slower here often, but you people give yourself some pats on the back for showing up. And showing up for live theater. Yeah. I mean, thank you to you folks who are there in Zoom land. We're grateful for you. But there is no theater without live theater. There's all sorts of other forms, but live theater means people in the audience giving and taking. It's subtle, but between you and the performers. So we're very grateful to have you here. And Monday Night Marsh is my favorite night of the week here at the Marsh because it's the night when you don't know exactly what you're going to get. You have new performers trying out new material and old performers trying out new material. And it's a really cool, and I don't mean old, I should say veteran performers. So anyway, we're glad you're here. And tonight our performers will be Bennett Caffey, Ginger Parnes, and the duo of Christian Jimenez and Jackson Moran. Just a quick by a hoot or a shout out. How many people here are at one point or another from School of the Arts? Okay. What about City College of San Francisco? All right, that's my day job. Way to go. And we're also happy for everyone else who doesn't belong to or never has belonged to either of those institutions. All right. Anyway, just so you know, Monday Night Marsh is on Instagram. We are at Monday Night Marsh. But don't sign up for that now, even if you're dying to. I'm going to ask you to shut your cell phones off. I'm going to double check mine, or at least please put them on silent. It's a drag when the phones go off. So yeah, I'm on silent. Okay. While you're doing that, let me say these masks here. Thank you all. I know a lot of people were not necessarily expecting masks. You all have them on. I'm going to ask you to keep them on during the show all the way up as best you can. I will put mine on the minute I get off stage. So I'm not a hypocrite. Free with your ticket and emergency exit in case of an emergency. Yeah, we don't charge extra for that. It's the kind of people we are. You can even go out that door, the one you came in, if there's an emergency. All right. And a really special feature of Monday Night Marsh is that we do a Q&A, a question and answer at the end. So as many of you that want to or can, please stick around for 15 or 20 minutes at the end of the show. Actually 4 performers tonight will be up on stage. And any questions you have about, what motivated them, what inspired them, why do they do a particular character the way they did it, feel free to ask that. It's fun, I think. If we have any other theater people or potential theater people or people who want to find out if they're theater people, Monday Night Marsh is accepting submissions right now through June 23rd. Just go to the Marsh webpage and the Marsh website, the Monday Night Marsh page on that site, and you'll see all the information for submitting to Monday Night Marsh. And that would be performing 2 shows sometime between the beginning of July and the end of December. And finally, okay, we have any number of shows that sort of start off kind of figuring things out on the Monday Night Marsh works in progress stage and become fully completed, ready to go main stage shows. So let me tell you a couple. We have comedian Adam Strauss. He's returned for 4 performances of his really well-received, very funny, also show about having OCD. It's called The Mushroom Cure. And not like white or what the mushrooms I like, not the kind of mushrooms you get in the grocery store. Okay. And he also has another show while he's in town here called Adam Strauss Is Not Unhappy. We have that show, other shows, and we have a Marsh in Berkeley. Check all information about that out at the marsh.org website. Whew, all right. You're just about rid of me. All right, are all our phones off? I feel it. I sense it. You're a wonderful crowd. All right. Let me not screw this up. Our first performer tonight, I hope I have this right, is Ginger Parnes. in my beautiful mother. Growing up in a middle-class household in Miami during the mellow Eisenhower era, little Ginger Parnes lives an idyllic life. But the next thing she knows, she's hugging her mother goodbye. Please welcome Ginger Parnes.
My mother was the most beautiful woman on earth. Now, many people might feel that way about their moms. What my mother had besides her movie star good looks was a spirited and joyful zest for life. She poured herself into everything she did, mundane or not. She painted, she taught first grade Sunday school, and she sewed, and everything she did was in the moment and loving every moment of her life. Another good factor about her is she could laugh at herself, and many of us cannot laugh at ourselves. My mother, with her great sense of humor, she glowed. Good morning, Mary Sunshine. It's your birthday, June 30th. Oh, Mommy, today I'm 7 years old. Yes, you are my princess, and we're gonna have a special day. You and I are gonna go downtown. Now let's get you dressed in your favorite outfit. Today we're gonna be fine ladies, gloves and all. Mommy, let's wear the dresses that you made, our matching dresses. Good idea. Don't forget your gloves from Grandma. It's the mid-1950s in Miami, Florida. What my mother has planned is for us to take the bus downtown Miami and go to Verdine's department store, somewhat like a Macy's. And they have a gorgeous tea room. And in the tea room, I'm going to get to have a frozen dessert called a snow princess. What I'm really excited about is to have my mommy all to myself, because I have two older brothers, Larry and Eddie, and they're 7 and 10 years older than I. Kind of like two extra parents. They teach me things, but they also boss me around and they dote on me. They think I'm their own personal little doll. My mother told us a story about when I was under 6 months old, because that's when we moved to Florida, that one of the neighbors in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, came over one day. Hello, Mrs. Tapper. How can I help you? Ms. Pons, yins might not know this, but yins boys are taking your daughter's carriage up to the top of Lilac Hill, and they're letting the carriage go down a hill and chasing after them. Another thing my brothers used to do, because when I was really little and we moved to Miami, we would go downtown and they would put a pink leash on me so I wouldn't get lost in the crowd. And they would laugh, pulling me this way and pulling me that way. Hooray, today, no brothers, and I have Mommy all to myself. Oh, Mommy, you look so pretty. As my mother puts her hat on her lustrous brown hair and her gloves. Ginger, how about you show me how they taught you how to model gloves in that modeling class you took? Like this, Mommy. Oh, you're so adorable. Let's go to the bus on the corner and take the number 19 downtown. Now, June 30th. It's the summer in Miami, Florida. We're all decked out. Hats, gloves, the whole thing. It's 90 degrees out and the humidity is 90%. We're perspiring. It's so uncomfortable. Finally, the bus comes. We get on, glad to be out of the sun, and flop near the front of the bus. The driver leaves the door open, so we get some air. It's hot air, but at least it's some air. There's several people sitting near us, and there's a group of Black people sitting in the back of the bus. That's the way it was then. This is before Rosa Parks' bold choice to keep her seat on the front of the bus. And even though there's a lot of snowbirds, people from up north coming down to Miami, make no mistake about it. Miami is a southern town. In fact, sometimes it's pronounced Miami. Well, we finally get off the bus and walk into Burdines. This wall of air conditioning hits us. Oh, Ginger, doesn't that feel good? Yes, mommy, we're gonna get an air conditioner in our house. Well, Dad says next time he makes a big deal, we will get an air conditioner. Ginger, look at the store. It always looks so good, but look at those big white and red flowers in these big blue vases. It's for July 4th. Clever girl. See those ladies over there all dressed up? They've got shopping bags that say Burdines. Let's get a shopping bag of our own. I want to get my sister a gift. Now, my mother grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, part of a big family. She had 2 brothers and 5 sisters. They were a very close family, spirited like she was. And the story goes that when my father came and met the family, he was smitten by Sarah, my mother, and fell in love with her and was pleased when she said yes, she would marry him. She was the sweetest and the most beautiful of all. And when they got married, Sarah, I'm really happy to be with you tonight. You're looking beautiful. I'm so proud you're my wife. Now, let's see. Let's buy Aunt Fran a scarf, a silk scarf. Maybe 2. You know, Ginger, sometimes I miss my family and wish Daddy hadn't moved us down to Miami from Pittsburgh. Oh, but Mommy, I love living in Miami. I get to run around barefoot all day long and play with my gardenias on the front porch. Mrs. Miller thought I was so clever when I took that gardenia and put it in my ink bottle, and all the petals started turning blue. And Mommy, we get to go to Key Biscayne and have picnics for dinner and swim in the ocean. That is a lot of fun, Ginger, but I can still miss my family. Oh, Mommy, you go see them every summer. We all go every summer, and you go in the winter too. Enough of that. Let's just take the escalator. Let's take the escalator this time and go up to the millinery department, because right next to the millinery department is going to be the scarves and gloves. We start taking the escalator up, and it's like a wonderland. We see mannequins with long silk dresses and beads all over, and the jewelry department's light shining on all those diamonds. Ginger, how many times have I told you not to play on the escalator? 3. Let's just find the millinery department. Well, we walk in, and my mother finds a pile of scarves. She starts going through the scarves. You know, Aunt Fran loves yellow. Look at this. She's gonna love that. What would you do with that, Ginger? It's a good idea, but what about this? And Mother reaches to the very bottom, pulls out the most gorgeous purple scarf you've ever seen. She lays it next to the yellow one. The combination is dazzling. Mommy, from now on, purple is my favorite color. Well, now that we've gotten that settled, let's go to the tea room. We walk in. It's magical. There's piano music wafting through, and men in tuxedos walking around, gliding practically, helping the patrons. They take us to a table with crisp white linens, shiny silverware, sparkling glasses. They pull out these big cushion chairs. We sit down and they take our order. I'm 7 years old today. I would like a snow princess. Please. Now, Ginger, I want you to take off your gloves and put them on your lap. And on top of the lamp, I want you to put your napkin. Like this, mommy? The napkin's bigger than you are. Here comes the snow princess. Now, for those of you who have never experienced a snow princess, the bottom of it is a meringue, like sugary white, and it's all rippled, big circle. That's the hem of the snow princess's dress. And there's a huge scoop of white ice cream, which is the snow princess's dress. And with little silver candy balls all around to make her dress look sparkly. And on the top is a plastic snow princess, blonde. But I get to take it home. Mommy, this is the best day ever. Look, my feet almost touch the ground. I'm so glad to be alone with you. Now, as much as I love my brothers, it was really great having my mom to myself. At home, it would have been a hot day. I'm sure my father and brothers were fighting. My brother Eddie's asking how long he can keep the car out that night. My brother Larry's asking for a baseball mitt. And there's a lot of turmoil and teasing going on in the house, but I'm not there. But I do love my brothers. In fact, I idolize them. So when my parents go out at night and they babysit, I'm so happy. I walk into the kitchen. Oh, you guys are smoking cigarettes. Don't tell mommy. Don't tell mommy, Ginger. Well, I'm going to unless you give me a puff. No, you're just too little. Eddie, I'm gonna tell mommy. Okay, here's a cigarette. Puff in like a straw. Okay. I never became a cigarette smoker. I said cigarette. We did all kinds of fun things. Larry taught me how to play jacks and pick up sticks, all those games we used to play on the cold terrazzo floor. It'd be hot out, but the floor was so cold in our house. And we'd play jacks and war and fish. Sometimes he would take me across the street to the junior high. It was called Shenandoah Junior High. And he would take me roller skating through the halls. One time, we took my mother with us. It's about 10 or 12 houses. A lot of kids would play on the street. That's what they did then. We'd play dodgeball. We'd play hide and seek. It was competitive, but playful and fun. I was really tired of hearing everybody talk about their air conditioners. We didn't have an air conditioner yet, but we finally had a television. Now, the problem with that is my father wouldn't let us talk during dinner now. He'd make us whisper because he would want to watch the news. That damn Joe McCarthy and his blacklist communist. I'm so glad that lawyer said to him, "Sir, have you no decency?" Now, Dave, tonight we're not going to be watching the news because Ed Sullivan has a special guest tonight. It's this. When he goes, "You ain't nothing but a pound dog." Take my little chair and I put it right in front of the television. And like thousands of girls, teens, women across the country, I screamed and yelled while my family sat and laughed at me. Then there was a time when there was a lot of hushed conversations going on. I hear the words like doctor, Pittsburgh, and before you know it, "Mommy, why do you have to go? Don't leave me here." "Ginger, dear, I have to have an operation. It's so much better for me to be with my sisters while I'm recovering." "Oh, but Mommy, I don't want to take me with you." "You'll have your brothers and dear, kind Bessie will be here with you. And I'm gonna come back so we can have many more adventures, dear. She was gone. A few weeks, a few months. It seemed like forever. I got the measles while she was away. Come on, Ginger, let me put that calamine lotion on you. You're too. Do it. Bessie. I'm here, child. You let your daddy take care of you. Bessie, when's mommy coming home? Soon, dear, soon. I'm so itchy and sad. When's she coming home? Soon, dear, soon. Soon never seemed to come. And when Bessie would go home at night, I'd stand by the window. She walked to the corner to the bus stop under the old lamp. Bessie, don't go, Bessie. Yes, she is, and I'm really glad being the oldest hasn't been easy. And you with the measles. But look, I'm all cleared up now. Look, all my scabs are gone. I'm gonna show mommy. Look, there's daddy's car. He's helping mommy out of the car. Where's my mommy? My mother's head was completely shaved. She had a scar that ran from the top of her head all the way down her neck. She wore these really weird fake bangs and a scarf. I was a little scared. I was frightened of her. But then I heard, Mary Sunshine. Mary's. She sounds like mommy. She feels like mommy. Shalimar, it is my mommy. My mommy's home. Eddie, Eddie. What? Mommy talks like Elvis. Love me tender. Ginger, you can't say that. Mother had an operation and the doctors made a big mistake. They severed that nerve. That means they cut a nerve. And she can't hear out of that side. And she can't speak out of that side, but she's still the same mommy who loves us very much. And things went on like normal. We never spoke of it in the house. She again poured herself into taking care of us and doing her activities, always with grace and resilience. Even when people would come up to her and say, "What's wrong with your face?" "Oh, it is a little funny, isn't it? I'm trying to smile at you." I benefited so much my entire life by how she modeled dignity, grace, and a sense of humor. I don't know if I could have been so much at peace with that. But was she always feeling that way? I remember a time in the house, my mom's all dressed up, ready to go out with my father. "I'm not going anywhere with you. Tin ear, crooked mouth. I'm tired of looking at your ugly face." Make my mommy cry. Many years later, when I was visiting my parents, I was having a conversation. People were complaining to me about their lives, and we started talking about suicide. My mother followed me out of the room. "Ginger, do you mean to tell me you would consider suicide?" people talk about it, doesn't mean that. Haven't you ever? Seen it? Not me. There would be too much I would miss.
The pain and beauty of childhood. Ginger Parnes, everybody. All right, now to a radically different piece. Second tonight, whoops, where are we? Oh, pardon me. Second tonight, we have the Pit with Christian Jimenez and Jackson Moran. The Pit is a residential hotel that houses 5 immigrant families, an engaged couple, and a 73-year-old man. For every problem that's fixed here, another one crops up. Please welcome Christian Jimenez and Jackson Moran.
Deep, no deeper. In this sullen city, where rats lie around and stare at the stars, a young boy looks through his window. He lives in a hotel, engulfed by a sense of childlike play. Oh, ye lost lovers, sent out to the streets to search for the meaning of life, hear this call and with it bloom, like the flowers of old, kept down by the biblical rains, finally given the gift of a bloom. And to those who live in pain, stop taking the pill of regret. With much ado about thyself, emerge into the world and crash through the fog. From nothingness we come, into nothingness we go. Yet in the center, the young boy remains. For his hotel is no figment of life, the center of purgatory.
The Pit is a residential hotel that houses 5 immigrant families, an engaged couple, and a 79-year-old man.
For every problem that's fixed, another crops up, hence the name, The Pit.
Several tenants have died in the hotel due to drug overdose, and they live with no heat, and there's mold, rice, hunger.
The remaining tenants claim that the owners purposefully leave the building in squad conditions to force them out.
The owners even use deceptive tactics to try to evict the tenants.
Tenants have nowhere else to go. This is their home. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'd like to file a police report. Hello? Oh, hey, Castro! Hey, can see you there. Oh, this? It's my new Tesla. Just pulled it out of the dealership. Fully paid, man. I earned this. Fully paid.
Wow.
Yeah, but look at this. I mean, this sucker, I'm gonna have to take it back and he fucked up my window tint. You can't see through it. Oh, God, ruins the whole car.
That's a really cool car, but I didn't mean to ask you about the rent increase.
Oh, hey, is that your father over there?
Where?
I know, not him. Looks like him. But your father, he's a good man. He's got a good heart, you know? But he just constantly gets shit on, Castro. I mean, I feel like there's a game that's being played against him. You know, I mean, he's a good guy, but he's got to stop getting angry and public life. Whoa.
I mean, he's all right.
Huh? Hey, get this. You know Roberto, the tenant that lives down the hall, and I put the notice on his door last week. Okay, so he called me, right? Hey, can I borrow some money? Dude, what the heck? I own the building. Okay, I own it. How are you gonna ask me to borrow money when you haven't paid me a cent? I just don't understand that kind of stupidity, man.
That's, I don't even try to borrow money.
Yeah, but come on, don't put me in that position, like, please, I have no choice at this point, man. I mean, things in the building are changing, you've seen it. I mean, the pandemic is over, the city just doesn't care about people, man. And I mean, he was like, oh, but we didn't get a lease, dude. When we bought the building, nobody got it. We didn't do that, we didn't do a lease. Oh, and did you sleep there when I called the sheriff on it? Oh, man, he got the hell out. Hey, come check out the car, man. Come on. Hey, come on, Seth. Go around, go around. Listen, your father should not be sleeping on the floor like that. He doesn't. Don't try to fool me, okay? I've seen him in there at night. It's pathetic. On the ground. I mean, that's how I know he cares so much about you guys. I wouldn't sleep on the floor for anybody, Castro.
I mean, I just think he should start caring more about himself.
But his children are his livelihood. That's who we should care about.
Yeah, but my brother isn't a kid anymore. He's 26.
26. I agree with you there, then. I mean, he should grow up. You know what? Your father asked me to talk to him a while ago, and I was like, look, man, please, I want to. I want to. But if I get involved, then the police have to get involved, and then what's going to happen? You're going to have your son arrested? That's stupid, man. But at the same time, he's right. I mean, he pays the fucking rent. And they don't understand that. Nobody understands that he pays the rent on that building. I mean, the person who pays for the unit controls that room. You know, anyways, how does he disrespect you?
I mean, he just acts like he can do whatever he wants.
Oh, God. And your sister, how do you get along with her?
I get along with my sister very well.
That's good. That's good. And your father, how's he doing after that nasty cheating scandal? I mean, it's like there's a freaking game played against him, man.
I mean, they're getting along better now.
That's good because I would have had to fully support your father. And God, 26, that boy should be out on his own supporting his family. Oh, God. Anyways, how old are you again, man?
I'm gonna be 18 on Monday.
Oh, it's going to be your birthday? What are you going to do? You got plans?
I think my friends are gonna take me
Your
out.
friends are going to take you out. Okay, but fucking Roberto, man. You remember the guy with the down the hall with the notice on his door? I was like, dude, do you understand that I own the fucking building? Oh, well, I really don't get. What do you not get? Okay, my family owns it. My family fucking owns the building. Ah, man, I mean, the stupidity. He wants to talk about suffering. He doesn't understand real suffering. The laborious days I go through every day just to maintain these properties. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And you see people flying out of windows every single day. God, I mean, you know what happened with me, right?
No.
Oh, God. Come on, man. I gotta get some air. So, a close family relative of mine took his own life. Yeah, blew his fucking brains out. So, money's not everything, buddy.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, you should be sorry. I mean, it just goes to show that nothing should come between money and, well, you know, right?
What do you mean?
Let me put it this way, guy. Okay, my family owns millions of dollars in real estate all across the country. Okay, and I mean, talk about suffering, the laborious days that we have to go through just maintaining these properties. Oh my God, just last week, listen to this. We had a suicide in our penthouse suite in Vegas. Guess how much it cost? The damages.
How much?
$30,000. Hey, but don't look so surprised, dude. All right, that's real estate. That's the hotel business. Okay, I mean, that's nothing compared to what I'm dealing with at this address. I mean, this address doesn't have the most by freaking fuck.
But if addict stresses you out,
Ugh. on, man. Get out of here. You almost done?
How hard is it to lock the door, man? Whose dog pissed on the floor? I mean, really, just take your dog outside.
Are you waiting for the shower too?
Yep. You got such a temper, man. Just go use the other one.
The window's open over there, it's freezing.
Well,
How long has he been in there for?
he like just started. You know what?
I don't understand, why do they have these windows open in the hall, it's like. Boy, the breeze outside, man.
Really, man, you know, the lock is broken. They're just permanently open. Even in winter time, man.
That stupid landlord Scoop Payne doesn't give a shit about us.
Yeah, and speaking of shit, did you see that someone stole the toilet seat out of the only working bathroom? Now our only option is hover shitting.
What is that? Oh, what?
Yeah, like a UFO sort of, you know, so when the seat is gone, all you got is the bowl. And it's nasty, you know, so you gotta hang your buttocks over the bowl and you just gotta let it go down. But you gotta stay up, because hey, if you go too low, man, the wire's gonna splash up and hit your Charlie Brown. So you gotta be careful. But yeah,
You see the black mold covering the bathroom walls?
you know, it's no issue, you just paint over it.
Is that even safe?
Looks safe, man. You know, it doesn't look safe though, is that dead rat I found in my sink this morning. Oh,
Yeah, that's right, I used condom under your sink.
that's where I left it? Kidding, hey, kidding. That wasn't me, I'm not weirdo.
Fair enough.
Anyways, how long you been here again?
6 years.
Damn. That's like before that asshole Scoop panel, right?
Oh, yeah, way before, we had a lot of different landlords back then, my favorite one was Gandhi.
The Gandhi?
No, just some other guy also.
Oh, yeah.
Gandhi. Yeah, he used to give free foot massages in the hallways.
Oh, that's great, man. Yeah, you know, the thing is, like back then, the drug problem was really bad. Someone was telling me about that. That's why we got those freaking needle dip boxes in the bathroom, right?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Anyways, are you going to the man, what is it? The tenants' rights meeting?
Yeah, of course, yeah, man, the things they're doing in this building is just not right, man. I mean, there's no heat, or there's holes in the wall.
Yeah, the freaking roaches are everywhere, man. It's disgusting. Oh, God, I'd live anywhere else if I could, but the city's so damn expensive. It's sad, you know?
And especially for the kids living here.
Oh, the kids, man, those poor boys. Oh, shit, dude, it's your ex, Antoinette, look up.
Thanks, man, I've been looking very tough recently. Of course, man.
Oh, hey, not to embarrass you, but your towel just dropped and I want to get caught laying.
Yo soy tu amigo fiel. Yo soy tu amigo fiel. Y si un día tú te encuentras lejos, muy lejos de tu lindo hogar, cierra los ojos y recuerda que yo soy tu amigo fiel. Si yo soy tu amigo fiel.
Can you keep it quiet, kid? I'm trying to listen to the damn radio. Oh, yeah, you smell like damn full, man. You better stop this tomfoolery right now. I'm gonna call your mother. Marina. Better be quiet. No, I wasn't deployed. Good, mild manner. Oh.
What are you even listening to, old man?
The news boys.
What news?
They're closing the hotel downtown and they're kicking out the families inside, all right?
But it's almost Christmas. Are they gonna be okay?
They'll be fine.
I used to live in a hotel.
Why? Why?
Because they kicked us out. They gave us this piece of paper that said eviction notice, but I don't know, I'm not really sure what it meant, but it must have been bad.
Where did you go after that?
My father got us this hotel. But then they kicked us out because they found out we had a dog.
Yeah.
And then we went to this other hotel on Geneva Street, next to Little Caesar's Pizza.
Oh, Little Caesar, I know that one, yeah.
The sheets smell like cigarette there. It was gross.
How long were you there?
Like 2 weeks.
That's a long time.
Yeah. We're here now. This place sucks. My father keeps saying we're gonna move soon, but
Hey, it's hard to find a place to live. This city is expensive.
yeah, I know.
Where does your father work again? You must know what he does.
I think he's dishwasher.
That's a hard job. I hope you know your father is trying his best.
Yeah, I know.
Really? Because you got a place to sleep and running water? I mean, your parents, they feed you, right?
Yeah.
This place isn't the best, but it's what we've got.
Why are you here?
The only place I can afford with my social security checks.
Oh,
You know what social security is?
no.
A lot of things you don't know, kid. But you'll learn.
So you've been where I just come from, the land that brings losers on. So we will share this road we walk. My miles and beware our talk.
Housing in San Francisco. Christian and Jackson, everybody. All right, our final performer this evening is Bennett Caffey, and Orange You Glad to Be in Miami. Bennett Caffey's solo performances focus on his experiences with bipolar disorder. He performed his full-length show, My First Miracle, Adventures in Bipolar Disorder at numerous fringe festivals. Please welcome Bennett Caffey.
I've been in Highland Park Hospital for about a month. I finally figured out how to get discharged. If you think you need to be in here, you don't. If you don't think you need to be here, you do. I pretend I've got insight into my problems at group therapy by saying things like, I'm worried about what I'm going to do after discharge. I'm afraid things are going to be just like they were when I came in here. Finally, they trust me and they up my privileges to level R, which I figure stands for ready for discharge. I'm allowed to take the elevator to visit other floors and even go down to the lobby by myself. To celebrate, I take the elevator downstairs to mail a letter. Go out the lobby doors. My letter in the mail slot. And I see the green grass next to the sidewalk. I know it's out of bounds, but I take one step and, oh, that feels good. Take another step and, oh, The brakes are off. I just started walking. I know I should turn around, but it's so good, like an invisible force pulling me forward, faster and faster, right through Overtown where white people never go, through downtown Miami. I can't go any further and there it is, the Miami Herald building. I go inside, right up to the receptionist. I need to see a reporter. It's really important. No questions. She sends me up to the newsroom. Jake, the reporter, takes me to his cubby hole in office. He's your classic ink in his blood, type with two fingers kind of reporter. So you say you're the new Messiah, and we're all gods in the center of our own universe? Yes, but I'm only the messenger. I'm no better than anybody else. Once everybody realizes that God is in here inside of all of us and not up there, that we're all responsible for everything we see and do, we'll be in heaven. That's really interesting. What's your last name again? Happy? Like coffee with an A, Caffee. And where are you staying these days, Kathy? Oh, I'm at Highland Park Hospital. And how did you come to realize you were the new Messiah? Excuse me a second. Janet, could you come in here for a minute, please? Could you take care of this right away, please? Very important. 15 minutes later, Bob and Mary from the hospital. They don't have a name for the level I'm on right now. I'm in the ICU, a locked room with a couple of psych techs watching over me. My parents are so pissed at the hospital. They let me escape. They take me out of the hospital and they check me into Mercy Hospital, a private Catholic hospital with a no-frills psych unit. I give up. I'm not going to try to get discharged anymore. I'm just going to wait it out. My new doctor, Dr. Nixon, comes in every morning around 7 a.m. Super straight, clean shaven, jet black hair, always wears black suits. Doesn't say much. He just keeps upping my meds and dodging my questions about when I'm going to get out of here. The meds are doing their job. My energy's gone. I'm a slug. But I still feel like I'm going to be the new Messiah, but not anytime soon. I spend a lot of time in the day room watching the world go by. I've got a clear shot of the visitors that come on and off the unit. If I time it right, I can slip right through the door and keep on going, but what's the point? I've got no place to go. I see Otis, the housekeeper, polishing the floor. He's completely engaged, pushing his humming machine down the floor. I'd like to be doing that. Zoning out, then like hum the machine that glide across the floor. Hey, I like your machine. Yeah, that's cool. Say, I remember you. I was the day they got you in. It took 5 guys to hold you down. Yeah, I know he's making it up. Just his way of being friendly. Like it's cool being in here as long as you put up a fight. Got a new roommate, Eric. He's my age. In for depression, but I don't see it. We're having a good time. Decorating our room, moving the beds around like a feng shui kind of thing. Eric finds a chest X-ray, I don't know where, labels it Miss September, It tapes it up on the wall like a pinup. I find part of an old bed sheet, tear it almost completely in half, so it's only hanging together by a thread, stringing it across the room. I get Julie, one of the nurses, to come take a look. Julie, check out what we've done with our room. That's my piece. It's only hanging together by a thread. It could come apart any minute. Yeah, it's nice. She's not playing along with my tormented artist routine one bit. That's Eric's Playmate of the Month, Miss September. I like her. She's cute. I've given up on being discharged, but there's still hope for Eric. Eric, all you got to do to get out of here is tell your doctor what he wants to hear. Like what? Anything, just something positive, like what you want to do when you get out of here. I don't know what I want to do. Go back to school, I guess. I don't even know what I want to study. Doesn't matter. Just act excited about something, anything, even if it's just figuring out what it is you want to do. You run through a few scenarios, me playing the doctor. And after about a week, Eric is discharged. 3 days later, Eric is readmitted. Strict instructions, he's not to have a room with Ben. Occupational therapy. I'm working on a belt. Debbie, the occupational therapist, sets me up with a pattern, a mallet, swivel knife, it works. I'm hammering out details on the belt. And my eyes are going in and out of focus. Side effect from the Mellaril, but it's not too bad. Tell Debbie about it, and I keep on working. But it starts getting worse. Every couple of seconds, my eyes go blurry. I can't do this anymore. I see a set of dies from the table right in front of me for punching out letters. I don't want to work on this thing anyway. Screw it. I'll make my own belt. I take the dies and hammer out Tutti Frutti on the belt and paint the letters in different colors. I think it looks pretty cool, but when Debbie comes back, she's pissed. I just banged out a project in 10 minutes. It was supposed to last me a couple of days. She set me up with wood burning, a little easier. Find a piece of wood about 1.5 feet long, rounded at one end, like a tombstone, and I see a box of stickers on the table. One of them jumps out at me. It's an orange, and it says, "Orange, you glad to be in Miami?" I've got it. I burn. Here lies Bennett Haffney on the wood and slap "Orange, you glad to be in Miami?" right under it. It's a joke, Debbie. Orange, you glad to be in Miami? I'm stuck here in Miami and I can't leave. This is something I did on the line. Debbie thinks I might be suicidal, which is kind of funny because after our session, she lets me walk out of therapy with a belt on his. Debbie tells the nurses about my tombstone, and they tell Dr. Nixon, who of course tells my parents. When I show it to my parents, they actually think it's kind of funny. You know, like I've been in here forever. Larry, one of the nurses' aides, just got back from a vacation in Europe. He's gone a long time. He's telling everybody about his trip. Oh, it was wonderful. I got laid and parlayed and it went by so fast, I forgot how long I was gone. When I left here, Bennett had a washboard stomach. And when I came back, it was smooth as cream. How long have I been in here? Couple of months. Long enough to get fat. When I finally do get discharged, I don't care anymore. I'm living with mom and dad. I don't even leave the house. Photosensitivity, side effect from the Milleril. Sun's so bright I have to wear sunglasses outside. And even with sunscreen, after about a couple of minutes, I can feel my skin sizzling. But it doesn't matter. I don't want to go anywhere either. I just stay at home in my air-conditioned room watching Happy Days. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Rocking all week with you. Dr. Nixon refers me to Fellowship House, a halfway house for people with psychiatric problems. He thinks I should work in the kitchen as part of their back to work program. I go there, but what if I overcook the spaghetti? Someday I'm going to be the new Messiah, and I'm afraid of overcooking the spaghetti. I don't work in the kitchen, but I start coming in Fellowship House during the day just to hang out. There's people to talk to. They're boring, but so am I. And they've got volunteers leading activities. Cindy plays the guitar and leads sing-alongs. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you're not afraid to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I'm clapping my hands. I don't want to. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be anywhere. Finally, I get up the nerve, sign up for theater classes at the community college. Acting, the one thing I think I'm meant to do. And I suck at it. There's a wall. But it's not even a wall. It's a dead person inside that can't get out. Yeah. Loud rock and roll is the only way I feel alive. I go to a bar to see a band. Just as I'm walking in, I see Dale, a classmate from high school, walking out. Dale, what are you doing back in Miami? Oh, I'm living with my parents and working in a psychiatric hospital and I'm applying for graduate programs in psychology. What a coincidence. I just got out of a psychiatric hospital. That did it. We're fast friends. Dale wants to hear all my stories. The crazier, the better. Yeah. One time I was out on a dinner pass with my parents. We're in an open air restaurant. All of a sudden, the wind starts blowing, the sky's turning black. And I know I'm the one that's making it happen. Then a gust of wind knocks napkins and bins off the tables. The waiters are scrambling. We start getting pelted by big drops of rain. My dad opens up his umbrella, holds it up sideways, protecting us. He's loving it. And I'm the one that's making it happen. And I can't tell anybody about it. Damn, it was like being a god. Dale's the only one who's telling stories. I finally accepted the fact that I was crazy. But that still doesn't mean I can't be the new Messiah. What, I can't think of anything I want to do for a living, but since I had so much fun talking with the crazy folks at the hospital, I was like, what the hell? I'll be a psychiatric nurse. I get a job at Doctor's Hospital as a nursing assistant, and I started taking classes at the community college, prerequisites for nursing school. I'm making friends. I start dating Karen, a pharmacist who just wants to have sex, and I'm back to being a normal guy. Dale gets accepted to a graduate program at Ohio State. We're driving up to Gainesville to visit some of his old friends at UF. It's a long drive. I start telling him my story from the very beginning, the whole thing, like I've never told it to anyone else before. Just keeps going until I don't have anything else to say. Wow, Ben. That's quite a story. Thanks for sharing it with me. There's just one thing I gotta ask though. Do you still sometimes think you might become the new Messiah? Yeah. Once you've experienced something that real, somewhere deep down inside, you're always going to believe it could be true. Is that real? We don't say anything else. We just keep driving.
All right, so we're gonna take, it shouldn't take very long, 30 seconds or so. Our, amazing tech and light guy, Robert. We can make sure we get fuel for everybody, all the performers. So I hope that all of you, really see the questions that you've been thinking of. They can do that. Get started. All right.
All right.
Can you get to be so high?
So
Because I was so sure.
I'll, you want to raise your hand and I'll call on people one at a time. So who's got the first question? It takes a while sometimes to break the ice. Who wants to be the icebreaker? Yes, you back there. Thank you.
Me?
I'm sorry, in the blue sweater. I should be more specific.
I have a question for Bennett. Bennett, how long have you been working on this material?
My life. No, this episode in class with David Ford. Some of you might know who he is. We have classes and we develop our stories. So this took about 3 months and I actually did a lot more. I had to cut it down to 20 minutes. Yeah,
Well, thank you.
thank you.
Yes, in the front row.
Hi, Bennett. Is this really you?
Yes, me. Not somebody else.
I mean, the story.
No, everything really happened and a whole lot more.
And how do you see it now?
Amusing. I find it amusing. I'm really happy to have a lot of stories to tell. It's way behind me. Last episode was like 13 years ago.
Yes, who else? Yes, please.
Any question for the other two as well? How long is it, have you been working on your pieces? Or, yeah.
Okay, when I enrolled in a David Ford class just about 3 months ago, the class was at such a level of intimacy, and I decided to put aside all the comedy stuff I usually do or talk about old boyfriends, and I decided to dig deep. And so it's only been in the last 3 months.
5 or 6 weeks.
I'm really busy.
Yes, and again, in the front row.
Yeah, I have a question for Ginger. Now, I felt like your story was divided into 2 or 3 parts. And the part that really moved me was the part about your mother and her illness. Some of the earlier part was light and funny in a way, but that was dead serious and extremely painful. And that's the part I would really like to see developed further.
Yes, over on that side there. Yeah.
For these two right here, how would you describe your dynamic as writers and writing this piece together?
Very dynamic. Sort of a dynamic duo.
Like, what's it like writing with each other?
It's really fun, I'd say. We kind of just like bounce off of each other, like, and then we slow down, of course. And get back into it.
But it's hard sometimes. It's hard. Sometimes I want to throw in an extra line about a foot massage from Gandhi. We gotta cut it out, but you
It'd
know,
be too much.
it happens. Good give and take.
It's like baking a cake.
It's like baking a cake. 7 layers.
Yes, in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's everything I got as well. So what inspired this whole story? Like, is it from reality or is it something you guys completely made up?
Oh, reality, like it's the building where I live in currently well, the city people call it the pit. Because where every problem happens, no one, and yeah, it's basically like, I guess I'd say like moments that happen in that building, like little moments, or like for the towel men scene. Everybody in that building is a towel man. They all go to the showers with their towels wrapped around, shirtless, waiting for the shower, and it's cold, and there is piss on the floor. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it's nice.
Jackson, how did you contribute to that?
I spent a lot of time listening to him talk, and I've spent a lot of time around him. And so I think it was I think I was able to kind of direct the thoughts a little bit and be like, okay, I don't know if that's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's do more of that, and stuff like that. And I think it was good to have a second person to embody the nuance.
Yeah.
Yes, please, over there. And then in the back row here.
This is for Ginger. First of all, I want to say I love your hair tinsel. But I also love how you decided to like do the narration part and the perspective of like your 7-year-old self, but say it like in a grown way, like you also like from a very like it's not like a very grown person, like saying like the stuff in the perspective of a 7-year-old. Like we had to go puff with smoke from like a cigarette, and then you're like, I've never given like a cigarette smoker. That's only cigarettes. Like, what made you decide to do that perspective?
Well, I think I'm the direction of David Ford, who we talked about. That I started talking about it as if it was the third person when I was the narrator, and Ginger did this, and then he says, no. Tell the story as a narrator, but be Ginger. And so I think great direction helps a lot. Thank you.
Yes, in the back row here.
Hi, Ben, it's Scott and Linda. I just wanted to say.
Oh, wow. You know, people that came for me, from schools and stuff.
Hey, question for Ginger and Ben. Did you guys find, because I did lose my mom when I was young, and Ben, I've never been bipolar, but did you find it really therapeutic to do these pieces and healing? I'm sort of like, all right, well, I just might as well be completely real about where I'm at. Did you find it therapeutic?
For me, it was getting rid of the, it didn't make me less fucked up. But it got rid of the urge to be manic, I really missed it, and that's a problem a lot of people have, they want to go off the meds and. Like doing drug abuse in reverse, you just go off the meds and woo. So telling the stories and then they've told so many of them, there's kind of like, I feel kind of normal and they're the wild, and then I started realizing all the crap I put other people through. So in that sense, it's therapeutic, and I'm very happy to stay on my medication. Which I wasn't before.
Well, we never spoke about it. I said that, and so that this stage of my life, I started asking my brothers, do you remember, did we ever, I mean, all these things, and it was very cathartic for me. My husband had never heard the story. I'd never told anyone those horrible things my father said. So for me, it was very cathartic, and the first time I performed it, when I was it was on a Zoom class with David Ford, as it turns out. And when it was over, I just started crying. So it was really, really great. And it's given me a lot to think about how my life proceeded because of those. We all have these things that happen to us in our childhood. But luckily I had a model. My mother was an amazing model of fortitude and getting on with life. So I'm hoping that I seem to be doing that, but it was very cathartic. Thank you for asking that.
We have a question from Zoom, and this one is for Jackson and Christopher, and it's William. I think he was here the last performance that we had, so he's on Zoom if you want to say hi to him.
Hi,
I might butcher this question, but I think he might have been typing so fast that the way that it's written doesn't make sense, but I'm going to try to ask it the way that he wants. Which is, he says that theater is an exploration. So how were you able to kind of build the story? Did you do something like inner self thinking or processing? And how much did the community influence your ability to write this piece for tonight?
You want me to take that one first?
Yeah.
I think as the person who did not personally possess the stories, I think that a big part of, like, for me, at least when I write and I do theater, I get very pulled out of reality. So a big thing for me was just like walking around and like in my daily life, looking at people and looking at how people function and how people deal with stress and sad and being cold and, not being warm. So that was for me, yeah, literally exploring, William, the world outside of the world that we had created.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
How much internal self-assessment did you do to help write this piece, and how much did the community that you were in, because your piece kind of follows different storylines from people that were a part of this apartment complex and people that maybe are from lower income. So how much did the community influence your ability to write this? So how much of studying or just reflecting or grabbing from people who made an impact with your life? How much of that did you do, and how much did you look inside to help actually write this piece for tonight?
Oh,
You went deep,
like what?
inward, you went deep.
I went deep. I mean, I don't know, like, I guess, I don't know. I don't know, I guess like the everyday kind of life there, just like seeing everybody act like the old man. He's always in the kitchen with his radio every time. And so I just kind of look at him and give him like a nod.
And there were articles written about your building.
Yes,
like
yes.
literally calling it the pit, like
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. So we looked at a lot.
I
You
looked
showed a
at
lot of
that,
this to me.
I didn't know it was called the pit until I searched up my address, and I was like, oh, what the frick are these? And so then I got into this deep, exploring all this stuff and kind of, yeah.
So I'm gonna preempt you, sir. This was with a question here, because this last question sort of makes me think of something. Feels connected to me, but might not be how long you meant it, but. There are a lot of times theater can deal with the personal. And also deal with the political. There's a very personal issue that all three performances deal with. There's also a very political side, right? We don't maybe hear about it so much, but you know, as an older person here. The disability rights movement, there was a movement to say mental health problems. Should be treated seriously, they should be treated like any other kind of medical problem, it's not something to make fun of. So likewise, and it is a little different, right? But the issue with housing and housing that's clean and safe. And who has access to it and who doesn't, a lot of times can be very personal, right? It's like, oh. We're made to feel bad because we can't afford to live in a better place. Those people have more money, they don't have cockroaches, they don't have this and that. I guess I'm sort of wondering. For all of you, right, for each of your pieces, is it all personal or do you sort of think of it sort of in a broader way? Like that maybe you are sharing something that could help make, you know, change things in the issue that you're talking about it. Ginger, in your case, right, you know, like your mother was like made fun of, right, because of something that she had no control over, right? So it's personal, but it's also like how society deals with it. So however you all can grab a hold of that, I'd appreciate it. Bennett, we'll start with you.
Sure. What I found, I've done a lot of shows and I'm telling a personal story and then they get something out of it politically, but it's not my intention. And I think it's probably better that way. So. Yeah, and then I also mentioned how I am really lucky that I have parents and friends, and yeah. Because people that don't are on the street.
Yeah. Right, thank you for that. That is a very political aspect of this very personal thing, right? How much money you have to get that care that you need. Ginger?
Well, the disability thing, I think people tend to look through people. Or don't look over them or don't pay, you know, if there's someone who's got something wrong, you know, they don't want to, it's just a person. So I think that the disability part and also the bus, that's the way it was then. Well, we haven't come that far. As you all know, you read the papers, listen to people. We haven't come far enough at all. So that was a big thing growing up in Miami. And with all that,
By the way, we're both from Miami.
we found out we went to high school. We sang the high schools. All
We were singing for you, but yeah.
just discovered,
It's
but
fun.
it is funny, two stories about Miami.
So, yeah, Christian and Jackson, sort of the politics versus the personal in your piece.
I like your take. I personally, I don't know if I would call it politics as much as perspectives on humanity and perspectives on human rights. And I think personally, I've been very fortunate in my life. But I think that one thing that I've noticed as I've gotten older is you never know what someone else is going on, what someone else has going on in their life. And you could be talking to someone that seems totally fine and you don't know what's going on. You don't know if you don't know what's going on. So I think the conversations that Christian and I had were very transformative, the research that we did. And I feel blessed to be able to tell some of these stories.
Yeah, right on. Christian, for you, I mean, although you're working on this piece together, it is based on your own life experience. How do you see it? Do you feel like, like it's a personal thing or somehow like it's, you know?
I'd see it as like, for right now, I'd see it as personal, but I'd really like to get into the political part of it, definitely. I've been having phone calls with this person who works with the SRO, single residency occupancy. And in that place where I live, it's a SRO building. So I'd like to just talk to him and get more information about, the tenants' rights and try to implement more of that into the show. So, just kind of course, bring awareness to it and and share stories, of the people living there. So someone who lives there can relate to it and, yeah.
Thank you. Sir, go back to you in the front row, you had a question.
Yeah, this is very happy. I,
Oh, me?
yes,
Bennett.
Bennett, yeah, go ahead.
Bennett, Kathy.
Yeah.
Okay. I was really moved by your presentation. You took me into the ward with you. And what I found there was a sense of kind of uselessness, helplessness, lack of direction, frustration, nothing positive. Just waiting to get the hell out of there. Did I
Yeah,
get it right? Is
I
that
can kind of explain part of the problem. The whole thing was started by LSD. I was not diagnosed with bipolar. And so they thought it was a acute psychotic episode. I was in there for like 3 months. That would never happen now. And they drugged the living hell out of me. You know. So there were lighter sides of it, but I had to pick an arc to go through. You know, there's fun times, you know. But on the whole, it was just a real grind. Yeah.
Yes, here with the blue switch.
Okay, Jackson and Christian, do you guys get a soda?
We did.
Oh, you did go to soda, okay, cool.
Did you? Are you going to
No,
Soda?
but my son goes there.
Oh, what department?
He's in guitar.
Oh, the strummy.
He likes guitar a lot.
Couple more questions? All right, well, if there are no more questions, we'll end with what we usually like to. Put the performance on the spot, sort of, not really. If people wanted to find out more about your performances or about what you do, is there some way to get a hold of you, to find you, especially in the digital realm?
So I have lucky enough or unlucky enough to have a very unusual name, so maybe you can figure out, find me. I'm the only one, BennettCafe.com, Bennett with 1 T. Cafe like coffee with an A. Yeah. But also I'm gonna be here next month, 2 dates. What you just saw is the end of the show that I'm doing, and it's gonna be a full-length show that I'm gonna premiere in Nanaimo, Canada. I know everybody wants to go in August. So I'm busy. So the next 2 shows is gonna be the beginning and the middle, and you just saw the end. So look for me on the website.
BennettCafe.com
Yeah, or also in March, because I'll be here
or at the Mark.
When is that? What's the date of that?
next month, June 10th and 24th, maybe or something. She doesn't have my picture up. I'm filling in for somebody else. Soon I'll be there. Anyway. Look,
I have a YouTube channel. It's gingerparns.com. And there's several things that I've done over the years, more comedic and fun. And I don't really have much social media going on.
Well, YouTube, you're with it. More than many of us are. But anyway, thank you.
I consider us nice guys. If you shout loud enough, we'll be there. We got your back. We got you. Internet, nothing.
Yay, yes, it's Russian.
Bunch of cows.
No profile for now.
I'd say, keep your eyes open. Yeah, no, you'll see something like, the bulletin boards, you'll see something.
All right, Chuck, you keep your eye for. Well, I just wanna, let's take the performance again. Thank you so much to this audience for coming out on stage tonight. And to our folks on Zoom at home. It's great. We're alive. We made it through COVID, kind of more or less. Well, anyway. Rest in peace. We're both did. See, I have a very song. Anyway.